Guys, I know a lot of the stuff that I say can seem callous. It can seem like I don't have any tact. It can seem like I'm just being an ass sometimes. And I try my best not to be just overly mean for no reason. But in my eyes and the way that I see things, I see that there's something wrong with this world. There's something wrong with our society when it seems like we get up in arms about everything. We get in arms about bad customer service. We get up in arms about, you know, people making blunders in the political world. You know what I'm saying? Like with what's the dude's name? Our vice president Pence had the fly on his head. That was like a million memes made about that. It's just, you know, we talk about, you know, all of these celebrities, all of this stuff that I just don't think matters as much. It's funny, it's entertaining, but I think that stuff dominates our headlines too much. What do y'all think about that? We're live right now. If y'all would do me a favor and click that thumbs up, help share our stream, let other people know that we're live. Very simple thing y'all can do to show some love is just to click that thumbs up. I think that we show absolutely too much attention to everything else, and we forget about our babies. Can we get a hashtag Babies Lives Matter, hashtag BLM, Babies Lives Matter? Because I believe that with as many kids that are being murdered and killed and beaten and shot and ran over and drowned and choked and thrown out of windows and starved and forgotten about. Let me say that again. For our babies that are forgotten about in the Child Protective Services system, in the DHS system, for all the foster kids out there. My parents were foster parents to a lot of foster kids, even before I was born. And to just think that there's so many kids out there that need homes, that need guidance, that need parents, that need love. Some of the simplest things in life that we just we just take for granted. For the life of me, it just seems like a weird thing, the fact that we have so many kids in America, we have so many homeless people in America, and we continue to keep saying that we need to open our borders and just let anybody and everybody come into America and take advantage of our benefits, which means that our citizens and our people are going to lose out on things that we need, right? We continue to keep having all these babies for the benefits that they can collect from these kids. Hashtag babies for benefits. Because a lot of these people only have 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 kids because they're collecting something from it. They're collecting benefits from these kids. They get housing, they get food stamps, they get so many different things. They get child support, right? Oh, I know, like, people like to play both sides of the fence of that child support game. Like it don't matter, but it do, because you be hounding a dude about some child support that you so-called don't need, right? I don't know how you can ride both sides of that fence, but I digress. But it seems like we are having too many kids for all the wrong reasons. We're having kids by multiple people. As men, we're having kids by all these different women when we should keep our junk in our pants until we are ready to be fathers. And that includes me as well, because I've been down that road. And I think that the best person to speak from that perspective is somebody who's done it, who's lived it. You heard me? Can I get an amen in the chat? Can I get a hello? The best person to speak against the wrong that's going on in the world is usually people who have come from that. The people who have done wrong. The people who need to pay their debt back to society. Somebody like myself. Because I'm not perfect. I am not a great guy. I am a decent guy trying to be a good guy in hopes of becoming a great guy at some point before my life is over. Hopefully everybody understands where I'm coming from. I look at these stories like this, and I want y'all to hear how insane this story is. And I want y'all to also understand this. Both of these stories, and we're doing 2 stories tonight, both of these stories are very, very similar. Very similar. spilling stuff all over the place. Both of these stories involve mom's boyfriend. How many times this year or even this month are we going to continue to keep preaching the same message? Matter of fact, like, if people hear these stories and they watch these videos, how is it that they can't make a change in their life like today? Like, why? Like, if you see there is something that is going wrong and something that seems to be dangerous, why would we continue to keep doing it? Right? If you know that there's sharks swimming in a particular pond, then why would you stick your arm in that pond? If you know that the thug lion is a dangerous lion, then why would you stick your hand in the lion cage and then get mad that the lion didn't maul your hand off? Or you done stuck your kid inside of the lion's cage and wonder why this lion then ate half your kid's face off? But I guess common sense ain't really common no more. But there is a Missouri man who allegedly opened fire on his girlfriend and her 3 children. Let me say that again. There is a grown man who allegedly opened fire on his girlfriend and 3 children, killing her and her 6-year-old daughter because the apartment was unkept. The apartment was dirty. It was unclean. That guy who has unclean hair, unclean face, unclean shave, he just looks dirty. And this is the man that has nerve enough to get mad about an apartment being dirty when you look dirty, sir? Where are they finding these dudes at? Like, maybe some ladies in the chat could explain to me, where do you find a dude like this who be willing to kill his entire family, his girlfriend and her kids, because of a dirty apartment, rather than just clean it up? Or how about you just kick them out? Is kicking them out not an option? Is walking away not an option? They had to die. Let me explain this. The individual who we're going to talk about, I don't even want to call him a man. This individual, his name is Joseph Jones, who was 40 damn years old. 40 years old, and he was charged Sunday with 2 counts of first-degree murder in the Saturday shooting deaths of the mother. We get her face up here. This woman, her name is Bernadetta Cooper. Bernadetta Cooper is also 40 years old. 2 40-year-olds. The daughter that passed away of hers was Dorian Bryant, who was 6 years old. I don't know if I have a picture of that little girl, but that's not even the big point right now. The point is just to say that this dude is a thug. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Can y'all put that in the chat, please? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. This is what could potentially happen. And I continue to keep saying this. There's a reason why I call him a thug, because I have his criminal record pulled up here. But this happened at the Shannon Fox Apartments in Jennings, the St. Louis Post-Dispatch reported. Not my words. Joseph Jones also allegedly shot Cooper's 10-year-old and 16-year-old daughters, who suffered a graze wound and a bullet to the shoulder, respectively, but survived the attack. So he was literally trying to kill everybody in that house. Cooper's father, William Wayne, and other relatives told the news the fatal confrontation started early Saturday when Joseph Jones, who was the woman's boyfriend of 8 months and lived with the family, got upset that the residence was a wreck. The apartment was dirty. There is so much wrong with that. I'm gonna read this again. Relatives confirmed that the fatal confrontation started early Saturday when Joseph Jones, who was the woman's boyfriend of 8 months and lived with the family, got upset that the residence was a wreck. Let's break that little sentence down. First and foremost, you are both 40 years old and dating at 40 years old. 40 years old and dating. So that means when this mother had her youngest kid, she was what, 34 roughly? 34 years old. And I'm just like, if you've only been with him for 8 months, then I don't really know what you've been doing this entire time. And I guess I feel like, and maybe like I said, maybe I just don't get out enough. I would think that if you have this many kids, that you'd be thinking about trying to find a husband. At this point, at 40 years old, you can't say that this woman was young. You can't say that she was young and dumb. She made a mistake. She's did no better. You can't say any of that. She's old enough to know better. Do a background check. I wouldn't, like, I know I get in trouble when I say that's too old to be dating because you'll have people that'll challenge me on that. I get it. I'm 37. I'm still out there looking for love my damn self, right? But I'm just saying, like, you are bringing your children into these situations that they can't speak for themselves. They can't defend themselves. And what makes it even more egregious, I think you could date at 40 years old. I don't see anything wrong with that to an extent. But the fact that this dude has a criminal history, I think that makes the difference. Can we agree to that? He's a thug, and that makes the difference. You are 40 years old, still dating thugs. Relatives told the news station that they believe Joseph Jones, who police say used a 9mm semi-automatic pistol and a .40 caliber semi-automatic in the slings that killed Cooper first and then took aim at that woman's children. What do y'all want to bet none of those kids are his? I'm going to say something that's probably going to make the family mad. Because if y'all are here to just listen to the news, then I'm sorry. This ain't a news station. I'm not a news reporter. You're in the wrong place. You're here to listen to my commentary. If that ain't what you want to hear, then I get it. Then you're probably in the wrong place. I'm going to say something that might not sit well with y'all's sensibilities. Y'all ready for this? It's funny how this thug boyfriend of this 40-year-old woman, so she was probably 39, 40 years old when she got with this dude. And she gave this dude more access to her kids than she had by other dudes. More than likely, it was probably more. It was probably at least 2 dudes. I'm sure it wasn't just one. I'm assuming it was probably at least 2, if not more. He had more unfettered, unmolested access to these kids than the fathers had. He was probably around those kids and saw those kids more than the biological fathers did. And that's just the sad truth. What a lot of women do is they get in their goddamn feelings because they feel like these children are their possessions. They don't feel like these children are human beings. They don't feel like these children have their own thoughts, their own feelings, their own mind, their own destiny. They feel like what I want you to do, that's what you should do. This is what you should think, and this is how you should be. They feel like they just control these kids just because they gave birth to them. But what's messed up about that is if you don't have the seed of a man, then you make no kids. So if men don't give you their seed, then what do you have? It's a two-way street. And I don't understand why we feel like fathers need to be second-class citizens and they can't be a part of their kids' life. I don't understand how you can end up. I'm trying not to make no jokes about this woman, but she don't look 40 years old. She don't. I'm sorry, she don't. She looks like she's a grandmother, like she's 60. I'm sorry. I know it's some people that's going to probably be like, they're going to kick my ass for saying that. But I'm sorry. It's just the truth. It's just what I see. But after all this time, you couldn't settle down with none of the men you made all these kids by. And in the last time that you had a kid, which was 6 years ago, you had 6 years to find a husband and did not. But the next man you get with is a thug that end up trying to kill you and your kids because of a dirty apartment. How, Sway? How? Somebody please tell me what the logic is in that. Can we get a hashtag stupid is as stupid thugs? We're going to bring back some of these hashtags. This dude shot them with 2 different guns. Wayne said that one of Cooper's daughters fought back during the onslaught and potentially saved the lives of one of her sisters, saying that the girl had the same spirit as her mother, who was also known as Chastity, the news reported. Chastity was a fighter, Wayne said. Wayne says he believes Cooper was suffering from mental illness. There's that word again, mental illness. Was suffering from mental illness at the time of the quadruple shooting. I've talked about this before, and we've talked about this mental illness. I know y'all felt like I was being harsh on the women, saying that, yeah, maybe these women that were killing the kids were going through something. They was emotionally distraught. They had always had mental issues. Well, here's another thing about this. I don't believe in mental illness being an excuse to kill people. Just because you're mentally ill does not give you the excuse to kill anybody. We have somebody in the chat, I'm not going to even say your name out of respect for you, said, I'm mentally ill and I've never harmed my children. We actually have a channel member who also has some, who suffers from some mental illness that has never harmed her children. But I believe that if your mental illness poses a danger, please understand, if it poses a danger, then the people who pose a danger to their kids should not be around those kids, let alone a woman allowing a man who has mental issues and a criminal history to be around her kids. Because that means she just gave her kids a death sentence. That's the truth about it. He smoked a cigarette on the living room couch after the deadly gunfire, Wayne and other relatives told the station. He was sick at the time. He was insane. He was possessed by the devil to do something like that. Who can take a baby's life? Wayne said he was heartbroken over the loss of his granddaughter, whom he affectionately referred to as Pig. Pig, she was a wonderful child. She was innocent. That's the angriest I am with him because he took my pig away from me. Pig was so sweet. Police believe Cooper's 10-year-old daughter called the cops after the shooting. One of Cooper's daughters, meanwhile, underwent surgery on Sunday, and Jones was convicted. And I want y'all to hear this. This is his criminal history. Let me get his thug picture back up on this screen. Where is it at? Right here. Joseph Jones was convicted of possessing a firearm during a drug trafficking offense in 1999. Convicted. Convicted. He also pled guilty in 2019, 10 years later, or excuse me, 20 years later actually, to being a felon in possession of a firearm, according to the Post-Dispatch. Jones, who was also charged with first-degree assault, armed criminal action, and unlawful possession of a firearm, was ordered to be held by a judge on a $1 million cash-only bail, and I think that sounds about right. Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. Hashtag live by the thug, die by the thug. Let's give the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, I'm going to show you guys a couple of news clips. If y'all would, please click that thumbs up while you're here. Our goal is 400 thumbs up. Really easy to get there. Just look down at your phone and click that thumbs up real quick. Only takes a second. Thank you. Let's get it.
St. Louis County Police say Joseph Jones shot Bernadetta Cooper and her 6-year-old daughter Dorian yesterday. He also shot, they say, a 10-year-old and 16-year-old. They are recovering. Police say Jones used 2 guns in the shooting and he wasn't supposed to have either one of them.
This next video.
Wish I would have did anything to save her.
She's just 24 years old, but she already has a lifetime of pain. Bethany Tyler's mother and 6-year-old sister were shot to death. 2 other sisters were shot and survived. Good evening, I'm Ann Allred.
And I'm Casey Nolan. Police say Joseph Jones opened fire on the mother and her children in his Jennings apartment. Justina Coronel spoke to the daughter and sister of the victims. She joins us live now outside the St. Louis County Jail where Jones is behind bars.
Yeah, Casey, I spoke to the victim's daughter today, and she says she wasn't expecting this at all. She thought her mom was happy, and she tells me that she's shocked that someone could do something so horrible to her family.
My mom was the best person alive.
Bethany Tyler is the oldest daughter of Bernadette Cooper.
My mom didn't deserve to die like that, and my little sister didn't deserve to die like that.
Tyler says her mom was her best friend, and her 6-year-old sister, Dorian, was mom's twin.
They acted just alike, always smiling, dancing, and happy.
But Tyler is now in disbelief that these two filled with so much life have died.
I didn't think that this man would go as this far doing this to my mom.
Around 1:30 Saturday, police responded to a shooting on Shannon Fox Circle. Family members say a confrontation started when Cooper's boyfriend, Joseph Jones, was angry the home wasn't tidy. Family members believe Cooper was killed and say Jones then allegedly aimed at her 3 children.
Just to clarify, I read this in the story that is saying 2 different things. One article said it was his apartment. The other article said that he was living with her. So I don't know which one is true. I honestly don't know.
I knew that they got into it, but what couple don't get into it?
Tyler learned from her mom's co-workers there were signs of abuse, and threats like these were said.
If you leave me, I'm going to hurt you.
Jessica Woolbright, the executive director of St. Martha's Hall, explains many victims stay for different reasons. But what's common among these situations? Abusers thrive on power and control. And with COVID-19, isolation is empowering abusers even more.
We see the use of physical violence escalate when other tactics stop working or when the abuser for some reason feels out of control.
As Tyler tries to take this all in, her focus shifts to taking her little sisters who survived under her wing and to give others this message.
I say get out.
So no one has to say goodbye too soon to their loved ones.
I didn't think my mom was going to be gone. You just never know. Call, talk to someone.
Jones is being held in a $1 million cash bond. Now, as for other survivors, there are resources, agencies, services, and people who want to help you and your family. I'm told that the most successful survivors are the ones who have a plan. If you call an agency, an advocate will help you create a safety plan that fits best for you and your situation. Justina Cornell, 5 on your side.
For this woman to be 40 years old and for people to still say that she didn't know no better and she was trapped and she got into this situation that she didn't know how to get out of at 40 years old. Maybe if you just started dating at 16, 17, 18 years old, maybe if you just turned 21, maybe I could understand if you're young and dumb and full of, you know what they say, right? I get how an older person might be able to manipulate your mind, manipulate your spirit. But for you to have this many children, that range in the age of 16 all the way down to 6, to have that many kids, and you are 40 years old. But let me throw something else out there, and I know this is going to piss some people off, but just hear what I am saying. We claim that our sisters are the most educated. Uh-oh. Am I going there? Am I taking a Tommy Sotomayor point? Yes, I am. Shout out to Tommy, by the way. That's going to always be my brother. I don't care who don't like it. It's funny how we talk about how our sisters are supposed to be the most educated. And you know what? I will agree with you, even though it's the most enrolled, but let's just give them the most educated, okay? The most educated. So I'm expecting for you to employ that education. Is that too much to ask? Huh? Patty laughing. And thank you, Patty, for joining the Patreon at the maximum benefit on there. And I'm truly honored. Thank you for that, Patty. I'm expecting you at some point to employ this knowledge, this education. At what point do you outsmart the thug? Why can't you outsmart a thug? We have a hashtag that says, stupid is as stupid thugs. Stupid is as stupid thugs. This dude is stupid. He's not very smart. He's not very bright. I can guarantee you that this dude probably only has a middle school education. He just got that look in his eye to just say, you know what, I got into 8th grade and looked at algebra and I just said, screw life. He just got that look in his eyes, right? But as ladies who just feel like, you know what, this is the best that I can do. No, there's always better that you can do. But what you have to do as women, and most of the responsible women in my chat understand this. They understand how simple men are, and you just have to set yourself up for the man that you want. And that takes work, that takes dedication, it takes responsibility. Work, dedication, responsibility in order to attract the man that you want and a suitable man for your children. If you're going to have that man inside your household, the least you need to do is invest in a background check. Don't tell me that these free sites aren't working for background checks, because if they're not, then if they charge you, pay for it. Because your kids just paid for it. He almost shot all of your kids. And the most innocent one, the smallest one, that beautiful, smiling little girl who really does. She looks just like a mirror image of her mama. She really does. That's a cute little button baby. Cute as a button. Why did that baby die? Why did that baby have to die because mama wanted some thug dick? Hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. And all I'm saying is that we have to be more responsible when we have children. You can't act like a single woman. And if you like thugs, then you need to not have children. If you like thugs that much, then give the custody of the children to the biological fathers. Give them a chance. Because it seems like these kids will stand a better chance if you want to go get you some thug D. Huh? They stand a better chance in the biological father's hands rather than a man who has all of this bullcrap on his record for drugs and guns, and you had out around your kids and you think that's conducive to a lifestyle that's going to be good for your kids to grow up and become something great when it's not. It cost one of your kids their life, and it cost you your life, mom. You have 2 to 3 more kids left. And all I can do is pray for those innocent souls who were able to survive this. I hope that they can heal emotionally and physically from this. And I hope that they can take this story and don't be angry about it. Don't be so sad about it. You will have your grieving moment. But at some point, I just hope that they can use this as a cautionary tale to make sure that we do not fall down those same traps. Mess with those same thugs. Make those same bad decisions. We need to be thinking about a future, a foundation, rather than just thinking about an orgasm. But maybe that's too much to ask. Rest in peace to those souls, to the mom and that beautiful 6-year-old daughter, little girl. May those souls rest in peace. To her other kids, like I said, man, I hope you guys can grow up and just really get past this. For this man right here, I don't think he needs jail time. I think he needs hell time. Send his ass straight to hell. He don't need jail. Just end him swiftly and get it over with. This is your boy DJ Just J. That's why we're the AFC, because we put the children first. So remember that. If you get in your feelings, it's probably because you didn't put the kids first. All right? But thank you guys for your support. We are coming back with one more story.